You're looking at the American-made rocket and spacecraft that will return American astronauts to the International Space Station from American soil for the first time since the retirement of the space shuttle, last flown nearly 9 years ago. But if all goes well today, we will mark a new first in NASA's storied history and usher in the commercial crew era of American spaceflight. And we are looking at a live picture now of Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley walking down that hallway in the astronaut crew quarters. We just saw Doug wave at the screen, and they're just turning the corner, getting inside that elevator. And this, you can't see it from here, but there is a banner hanging there. You can kind of see it in the back. There's a banner hanging on the wall of the elevator with the signatures of all the people who worked on this mission. So it was really important for them to hang that up in there so Bob and Doug could see it. And there the doors are opening.
Here they come.
Great. And there they are, NASA astronauts.
Small crowd, but big cheers.
NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, Doug on the left, Bob on the right, waving to the crowd there to cheer them on. And there are their families right in front of them.
The virtual hugs, a very special moment. Fist bumps.
I love you. Are you going to be on good behavior? Are you going to listen to mommy and make her life easy?
You can hear them.
Ready? Let's light this candle, I agree. Launch America! Bye guys.
And there it is. That shot really gives you a sense of the scale of the Falcon 9 rocket. Those Teslas look teeny, teeny, tiny, making their way up there.
Yeah, really cool watching the Teslas pull up, driving on the launch pad just a few feet away from the vehicle. This is awesome and getting really excited over here.
Core on countdown 1 at 2 hours 57 minutes. The crew has arrived at the pad on schedule.
There they are, taken in the sight, craning to see the top of the Falcon 9 rocket.
Core on countdown 1 at T-minus 2 hours and 46 minutes. The crew has arrived at the White Room and its ingress is in progress on schedule.
And as they climb into Dragon, they will buckle themselves in and attach their umbilicals to their suits. And as you can see, the suit techs are there to help them get buckled and settled into those seats.
And we can see the seats slowly start to rotate. Again, they're in this down position just to make it easier to climb in and out of Dragon. They'll rotate to this launch position to put their backs a little bit more parallel to the ground. It makes taking the G-force a little bit easier for the crew on the way uphill, but most importantly, positions those touchscreens directly in front of them, which is just their gateway into Dragon.
Dragon SpaceX seats are in the launch position.
We copy.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched. And so rises a new era of American spaceflight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
Falcon, power telemetry nominal.
M1D, throttle down.
We're throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket. Reports say all systems are go.
Vehicle is supersonic.
We've exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9.
M1D, throttle up.
We're throttling back up to full power as we're through max Q.
Copy, 1 Bravo.
And we heard that 1 Bravo call out. That's just the second abort zone that they're in. They'll continue to be on this until the first stage has done its job and they switch over to the second. At this point, Bob and Doug pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
We've heard the call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight. Right now, everything continuing to look good. Next major event coming up is going to be the triple. We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit.
And what you're seeing on your screen is a live view of our drone ship, where our first stage will be coming down. Looks like we lost that live view, but we'll wait for confirmation of that landing shortly here.
Falcon 9 first stage is successfully landed.
And there you can see on your screen, Falcon 9 has landed. This is the first Falcon 9 to carry humans to orbit, so very exciting for us. And as you can see on your right screen, Bob and Doug are still making their way to their targeted orbit.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Countdown 1 is unmerged.
Separation confirmed.
And there's that call out. Dragon is now officially making its way to the International Space Station today.
Dragon SpaceX with that separation call. We have a few words for you from our Falcon 19.
Standing by.
Dragon, Chief Engineer on Dragon to ground. Bob Doug, on behalf of the entire launch team, thanks for flying with Falcon 9 today. We hope you enjoyed the ride and wish you a great mission.
Thanks, Bala. Congratulations to you and the F9 team for the first human ride for Falcon 9, and it was incredible. Appreciate all the hard work, and thanks for the great ride to space.
Copy all.
Oh, and Mike, proud of you guys and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for what you've done for us today, putting America back into low Earth orbit from the Florida coast.
Copy all. Good luck. Godspeed.
Without further ado, we would like to welcome you aboard Capsule Endeavour. We chose Endeavour for a few reasons. One, because of this incredible endeavor NASA, SpaceX, and the United States has been on since the end of the shuttle program back in 2011. The other reason we named it Endeavour is a little more personal to Bob and I. We both had our first flights on Shuttle Endeavour, and it just meant so much to us to carry on that name. That's what we decided to go with. So we hope you enjoy that name, and once again, welcome on board.
Today we accomplished the first flight off the Florida coast in quite some time, and Doug and I were really proud to have an opportunity to be a part of that. We're doing it in a brand new spaceship, a spaceship that's a lot different than its namesake Endeavour, the space shuttle, in that it has touch display screens that allow us to accomplish most of the interfacing requirements that we have. But we've got the capability to interface with the vehicle, and it's kind of interesting. There's a command. This little button over here is actually what the commands are for our displays. One thing that does get lost is there is a extensive button panel down below as well. So Over on this side, we can turn the displays on and off, as well as send some commands for some contingency situations. On the other side, we have the ability to deploy chutes and things like that on entry. So we do have some buttons, but the primary interface is these displays. So nice, new, modern cockpit that we've got for our compared to our namesake, the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
And I'm guessing it was the first time a space vehicle was flown with a touchscreen before. So we got that going for us.
We did, it turns out, end up with one stowaway on board our vehicle when we launched today. It was not just Doug and I who accomplished the launch here. We do have an Apatosaurus aboard. We both have two boys who are super interested in dinosaurs. And we collected up all the dinosaurs between the two houses, and Trimmer, the Apatosaurus, got the vote from the boys to make the trip into space today with us. And so that was a super cool thing for us to get a chance to do for both of our sons, who I hope are super excited to see their toys floating around with us on board. I'm sure they would rather be here given the opportunity, but hopefully they're proud of this as well.
At this point, Dragon now approaching waypoint 0. At this moment, we're less than a mile away from station. Dragon just under 1,200 meters away, continuing to close the gap. Pretty slow rate right now, moving in at only about 1.7 meters per second.
And here's a view from Dragon. Dragon's got a number of relative navigation sensors, as well as a couple of cameras that can look forward that will hopefully get some additional views far as we get closer to docking. Here's a great view from a camera behind Bob and Doug. Bob in the right-hand seat in the pilot seat, Doug in the commander seat, or the CDR seat.
There they are. And that's 200 meters from the center line of the space station.
We're inside 100 meters, continuing to close.
I think you can see a meatball and American flag on that on the spacecraft. That structure on the fairing structure is actually what the Super Dracos are housed in. Of course, all of those are deactivated now, only used for launch escape during the ascent portion. Nose cone right at the top of the vehicle, and you can see sort of the sealing surface, those 4 circular slots right underneath the nose cone within that red ring are the Ford bulkhead Dracos. That's what we were using while we were conducting all those burns, the 5 burns to get to this point.
SpaceX Dragon on the big loop. Our visors are down.
Visors down. They are.
Copy, visors down.
They're sitting right there at 20 meters from the docking port. One more view.
SpaceX in station. Dragon on the big loop. We are inbound from approach 2.
Copy, inbound.
Station copy.
Dragon closing in. We're inside 20 meters. And yeah, that crew hands-off point should come up in about 3 minutes or so. Right before we get that final docking, it comes about 20 seconds prior, or just about 2 meters away from the station still. And that's just the crew not issuing any abort commands. At that point, it would be too late. And so any aborts would be executed automatically by Dragon itself. Two meters. We are inside the hands-off point, the chop, the crew hands-off point. 1 meter to go. Soft capture complete.
Dragon in space. Soft capture confirmed. Stand by for retraction and docking.
And we just heard it, soft capture. We have docking, that coming at 7:16 a.m. Pacific time. with the station and Dragon flying 262 statute miles right over the border between northern China and Mongolia.
Dragon SpaceX docking sequence is complete.
SpaceX Dragon, we copy docking complete. To say that it's been a real honor to be just a small part of this 9-year endeavor since the last time the United States spaceship had docked with the International Space Station. We have to congratulate the men and women of SpaceX at Hawthorne, McGregor, and at Kennedy Space Center. Their incredible efforts over the last several years to make this possible cannot go overstated. I'd also like to thank Kathy Leaders and her team of the Commercial Crew Program of NASA. An outstanding job by everyone. Last, I'd like to thank the men and women of the National Aeronautics and Space Agency. This is an incredible time to be at NASA. 3 new vehicles to be flown, continuing mission in low Earth orbit, and then to the moon and Mars. We thank you again and congratulate you.
Dragon arriving. The crew of Expedition 63 is honored to welcome Dragon and the Commercial Crew Program to welcome aboard the International Space Station. Bob and Doug, glad to have you as part of the crew. Well done. Bravo Zulu.
We have Bob Behnken from SpaceX Demo 2 mission entering the International Space Station. Followed by Doug Hurley. Demo 2 crew now aboard the International Space Station. They entered at 12:22 p.m. Central Time. The station at the time was 262 statute miles over Turkmenistan. Crew all gathered in front of the cameras at the Node 2 forward end of the International Space Station. Just behind them is the hatchway to the Crew Dragon on this Demo 2 mission.
Station, this is the NASA administrator. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, sir. Welcome to the space station.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to see you. And welcome to Bob and Doug. I will tell you, the whole world saw this mission, and we are so, so proud of everything you have done for our country and, in fact, to inspire the world.
We sure appreciate that, sir. It's obviously been our honor to be just a small part of this. We have to give credit to SpaceX, the Commercial Crew Program, and, of course, NASA. It's great to get the United States back in the crewed launch business, and we're just really glad to be on board this magnificent complex.
First, I just want to say thank you again to Bob and Doug and your families from all of us here at SpaceX, all of our locations, all of our partners, all of our vendors, everyone for trusting us to bring you up there.
Hey, thanks, Benji. It's same back at you. You know, congratulations to the folks out at Hawthorne, McGregor, and at Kennedy. Just an incredible journey we've had the last couple days. A great day in space today, our first day of work on Space Station, but what a great ride on Dragon and Falcon 9 to get us here. Everything worked exactly the way we planned it to work, and that's a credit to the teams there in Hawthorne and McGregor and Kennedy. Just it's a pretty awe-inspiring trip so far, and very humbling, and just we're just so proud to represent SpaceX and NASA in this new next launch capability.
You guys have a picture of the Earth, and you have a flag which also represents the friendly competition, maybe, that brings us unity. Why don't you tell us about that there?
Yeah, so this is the flag that we left here almost 9 years ago on STS-135. It had actually flown on STS-1, and then it flew again with us on STS-135. And at some point after the end of the shuttle program, we decided we would have a little friendly competition to see who came up and got this flag. And congratulations, SpaceX, you got the flag. So Bob and I, Chris will not let us forget it. That's the biggest thing, is this will be on his to-do list when we get the nod to return Dragon back to Earth. And hopefully this will find a great place of honor somewhere in Hawthorne.
Everyone at NASDAQ is thrilled that you're able to join us here today virtually as we get set to ring today's opening bell.
All right, Bob Mini Workstation BRT has a red small.
Yes.
3 short wire ties, 1 long wire tie.
1 long, 1, 2, 3 shorts. Swing arm.
Red small. PGT.
Red small to PGT number 7.
PGT number 7. Cal knot motor 30.5. And 7/16 swabbing.
Bob, your helmet is locked. Just check out all your stuff, make sure you're good.
The thermal cover is open. I'm egressing.
We copy.
The 2 spacewalkers will be making their way to the far starboard truss of the International Space Station to replace aging nickel-hydrogen batteries on the first of 2 power channels for the S6 truss with new lithium-ion batteries and their associated adapter plates.
A view back inside where you can see that thermal cover of the hatch is closed. Still waiting on the opportunity to close the hatch. However, the spacewalk does not end until repressurization begins.
So much stuff.
Hold Bob for a second.
PGTs are in the bag. Yeah,
Oh, you already put them in there? Okay. We'll get your tools off.
First of all, I'm super excited that this is the first payload you're working with on space station, so make it super special for me. And you can start. We have the video. We'll be watching.
When you install the sample cartridge, we'd like you to first hand snug bolt Bravo and then do bolt Alpha and let us know if there's any difference between those two bolts.
we'd like you to do is, like, with two hands, you're going to grab the drink bag and try to squeeze it uniformly so that you actually drain it in about 15 seconds. Keep it going, cool. Well done.
And Endeavour Houston on 2 while we wait for the fan. On this day in space history, 9 years ago today, Mr. Doug Hurley launched on STS-135.
Well, welcome aboard to the International Space Station and the crew of Expedition 63. It's an exciting day for us all as we bid farewell to our two friends and colleagues, Bob and Doug, as they complete the journey of this amazing test mission. Before I hand the mic over to Bob and Doug, I do want to make mention of this very special flag. It has deep space history, getting deeper, as this flag will return to Earth with the Crew Dragon guys and spend a little bit of time on Earth and very soon make a trip to the moon in short order. So, Doug, the flag's all yours. It's been a pleasure, and here you go.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for this. This flag has spent some time up here, on the order of 9 years since we dropped it off on STS-135 after it flew on STS-1. So very proud to return this flag home and see what's next for it on its journey to the moon. It's hard to put into words just what it was like to be a part of this expedition, Expedition 63. It'll be kind of a memory that will last a lifetime for me. Just all the incredible teamwork and accomplishments, with the highlights obviously being the 4 spacewalks that we worked together literally as a crew of 5 to have success and to complete that part of the upgrade for the International Space Station, which leaves it in a great posture for the future.
As I look back on the mission that we've had here on the International Space Station, I'm proud to have been a part of much of the science activities that happened over the last 2 months. As Doug and Chris mentioned, the spacewalks and robotics activity. Chris and I were able to join the 10 Spacewalk Club, which is a pretty neat thing that, just a few short months ago, I didn't think I would do another spacewalk, and to now have the chance to have done 4 more with Commander Cassidy was just icing on the cake for a wonderful mission. And as I look forward to heading back home for the splashdown, I do think that from a family perspective, my son and Doug's son are really excited not only to get their fathers back, but to get our Apatosaurus, our zero-G indicator that they nominated to go with us on this historic mission to the International Space Station, and bringing that to launch and return capability back to the U.S. And so for Jack and Theo, Tremor the Apatosaurus is headed home soon, and he'll be with your dads. You'll have to pick which one of us is your favorite.
Dragon SpaceX on the Big Loop. The final reconfigurations for undock are complete and nominal. The ground is go for undocking at the undocking sequence start time of 23:30 GMT. Please confirm your visors are down and that you are ready for undock and departure.
Dragon copies, go for undock on time. Our visors are down and we're ready for departure.
We copy all. Dragon SpaceX, all hooks open and nominal.
All hooks open.
Dragon departing.
Dragon SpaceX, separation confirmed.
Okay, separation.
Great Burns, physical separation 4:35 p.m. Pacific. Thrusters looking good. Counting down to a nominal departure burn 0 coming up shortly.
Dragon SpaceX, depart burn 0 complete.
Copy complete. Revisors up.
And with that, Bob and Doug have concluded their stay aboard the International Space Station. They're on their way back to planet Earth. Confirms a physical separation at 4:35 p.m. Pacific as the station and Dragon were flying 267 statute miles over Johannesburg, South Africa.
Station Endeavour on the Big Loop.
Go ahead, Endeavour.
Chris, we just can't thank you enough. It's been an honor and a privilege to be part of Expedition 63 with you, Anatoly, and Ivan. It's been a great 2 months, and we appreciate all you've done as a crew to help us prove out Dragon on its maiden flight. I'd also like to thank Zeb and his team in Mission Control in Houston for the incredible amount of work they did to make the dock to ops successful for Dragon, and also the teams at SpaceX that keep us going towards the end of our mission that we look forward to splashdown tomorrow. I'd also like to wish you a great success on the rest of your expedition and a safe flight home in the fall. Take care, friend.
Endeavour,
Thank you, Chris.
Safe.
Thank you, Anatoly. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Houston, and thank you, SpaceX.
Endeavour Station, Bob and Doug wholeheartedly agree with those sentiments. It's been a real pleasure. It's been an honor to serve with you. Safe travels and have a successful landing. Endeavour's a great ship. Godspeed.
Endeavour copies all. Thanks, Chris.
Good morning, Dragon Endeavour. I'm happy you went into space, but I'm even happier that you're coming back home.
Rise and shine, Daddy. We love you. We can't wait to see you. Wake up, wake up.
Rise and shine, Dad. Me, Luke, Leo, and Mom can't wait to see you, Daddy. Love you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. Say wake up. Don't worry, you can sleep in tomorrow. Hurry home so we can go get my dog.
We love you, Dad.
Good morning, Jay. Good morning to SpaceX, and thank you especially to Jack and to Theo for that wonderful message this morning. Hopefully the pressure's all on whoever's making the weather call, because those boys seem excited to bring us home.
Yeah, we concur. It was great hearing them, and happy to hear you. And lucky for you, weather's looking great at Pensacola. Dragon's also healthy and proceeding towards the primary deorbit opportunity.
We've got some live views inside the Dragon Endeavour capsule. Bob and Doug there in their seats as they are making final preparations and doing final reviews as we get ready to initiate the deorbit sequence. Closest to the camera there is NASA astronaut Doug Hurley, and further away from the camera is NASA astronaut Bob Behnken. These are two incredibly wonderful humans. We affectionately call them our space dads here at SpaceX. It's been such an honor to be able to fly them. Of course, Doug Hurley was actually the pilot of the final space shuttle mission, STS-135, back in 2011. And honestly, when I heard that he was assigned to this mission, I cried, because, you know, just to have the opportunity to return the pilot of that final mission to the space station in this capacity is so cool. And I I've loved following this mission since the moment that we started training for it here in Hawthorne.
Dragon SpaceX, deorbit sequence start.
Never copy.
There on your screen, we have a shot of the capsule as it is preparing to deploy those initial parachutes, the drogue parachutes. Again, these parachutes help slow the vehicle down even further and help stabilize in preparation for main chute deployment. Right about now, the capsule is going about 400 miles per hour, decelerating quickly.
And standing by for drogue deploys.
Visual, 2 drogues out.
There on your screen, we have visual confirmation of those 2 drogue deployments.
Copy, 2 drogue. All right, so 2 of 2, the drogues now out. They're going to do their slowing and stabilizing of the Dragon spacecraft. They should be detaching in just a few moments, and then we'll see 4 parachutes, the main parachutes deployed. Dragon under drogues.
Drogue descent rate nominal.
So the expected descent rate, the expected velocity under the drogues nominal, we're right at around 150 miles an hour and already dropping. You can see the drogues now detach.
And there we have confirmation of deployment of the 4 main parachutes.
We are visual on 4 chutes out.
We are visual. 4 main parachutes deployed. Copy, 4 main.
So at this point, the main parachutes have deployed. They are inflating, as you can see there on your screen, continuing to slow Dragon down significantly. We are anticipating splashdown in just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've already slowed the vehicle down to about 16 miles an hour. It's already less than 1 kilometer in altitude.
Main chute descent rate nominal, passing through 700 meters.
So at this point, Dragon has saved all propulsion systems on
600
board.
meters.
600 meters.
And we're 600 meters above the Gulf of Mexico.
Should be approximately 1:30 from splashdown.
Mission control team here in Hawthorne has reported the precise landing coordinates to the recovery team. They are standing by, ready to go get our space dads.
100 meters. Just passed about 300 meters. 1 minute till splashdown. 200 meters. We are braced for splashdown.
Copy, brace for splashdown.
So there we heard Bob and Doug reporting that they are bracing for a splashdown. We should be able to see the Gulf of Mexico here in the shot just momentarily, as we're now just about 20 meters off the ocean.
Splashdown.
As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for splashdown.
SpaceX copies and concurs. We see splashdown and mains cut.
Dragon Endeavour has returned home. NASA astronauts
And Endeavour, on behalf of the SpaceX and NASA teams, welcome back to planet Earth, and thanks for flying SpaceX.
It was truly our honor and privilege to fly in flight of the Crew Dragon and Endeavour. Congratulations, everybody at SpaceX. All good, and we're into section of 4.800.
Thanks for those words, Doug, and we copy that you are into 4.800.
So great news all around there. Our space dads are back on Earth after a 19-hour return journey from space. Dragon Endeavour has splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico, just off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. And on your screen there, you can see our two fast boats, and they are indeed fast, racing out to greet Dragon Endeavour as it sits there. The first, on there we can see a view inside the capsule. Bob and Doug looking good. Although the communication was a little choppy, we did hear...
Endeavour in 3.1, we show ourselves in stable 1.
And SpaceX copies for vehicle assessment, step 3.1, stable 1. Good news.
Oh, still getting a view from the WB, the airplane flying overhead. It gave us those great views, really our first views of Bob and Doug re-entering the Earth's atmosphere from up above. You can see the 4 parachutes in the water. We heard those were cut automatically as expected by Dragon. So for now, the crew just standing by. Again, they're going to stay in their suits, in their seats.
Dragon will be hoisted using the hydraulic lift out of the water and into that nest. That nest will then be pulled towards the camera from this view, towards those individuals on that upper deck there.
Dragon SpaceX, brace for capsule lift in about 30 seconds.
We're ready. Thank you.
All right, so the crew was just told in the next 30 seconds, they have the lines affixed, so they're going to start lifting the capsule up out of the water. And at this point, the communication we're getting with Dragon is actually being routed through the boat itself at this point. So there we can see the lift. Dragon is out of the water.
Yeah, so
now
now
that A-frame's going to start swinging it back. And it's bound right for that nest at the bottom of your screen.
And there we can see Dragon Endeavour being carefully set down into the recovery nest on top of Go Navigator.
Dragon SpaceX, welcome aboard the recovery vessel. Recovery personnel are completing final checks and preparing to translate you to the egress platform.
Be happy. Thank you.
And we see the hatch is now open. Hatch being opened at 12:59 p.m. Pacific. Hatch is open.
So right now they're going to put a piece of equipment in there that basically smooths out the edges and makes sure that it is a comfortable exit from the Dragon capsule. Just a little piece of structure there to ensure that the hatch will remain open and that any sharp edges around that side hatch are protected.
And Solo from the PLT, I just wanted to thank you guys for bringing us home safe before I disembarked from ship Endeavour. I'm sure Doug will have some good words for you guys as well. But thank you for doing the most difficult parts and the most important parts of human spaceflight, getting us into orbit and bringing us home safely. Thank you again for the good ship Endeavour.
Thank you, Bob, for those awesome words. It's absolutely been an honor and a pleasure to work with you from the entire SpaceX team. It's been awesome.
SpaceX Dragon from the commander.
Go for SpaceX.
Mike, I just would like to sort of reiterate what Bob said and add my thanks to everybody over the last several years that's either worked in Hawthorne, McGregor, or down at Kennedy Space Center. Anybody who's touched Endeavour, you should take a moment to just cherish this day, especially given all the things that have happened this year. we certainly can't thank you enough. Our families can't thank you enough. And just proud to be a small part of this whole effort to get a company of people to and from the space station. They can celebrate with each other, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully in person.
Thanks so much, Doug, and you're welcome, and thank you so much for those kind words. And we all wish you a safe journey home and a happy reunion with your family soon, and we look forward to seeing you in person as well.
Mikey.
Yeah, so Bob Behnken, the pilot, the Joint Operations Commander for this mission, out of the capsule now. So he's making his way over to the medical area, and now they're going to work to get Doug Hurley out next.
I think I saw a smile on Bob's face.
He was a thumbs up all the way. As they've been giving us some regular status updates from inside the capsule, they've been feeling really good. And so now we're just standing by for our spacecraft commander, Doug Hurley, to make his way out into the fresh air for the first time in 64 days. And it looks like we've got him out. We've got some applause here.
And as you can see in Mission Control, a standing ovation for a job well done all around.
Yeah, our crew members, Bob and Doug, are now safely back home on Earth, and they're going to get checked out now by the NASA medical team. They're going straight into the medical quarters on board the ship. That'll be their first stop on planet Earth, and then they're going to be making their way up into a helicopter and then heading back to dry land. So once they're complete, the team's going to prepare Dragon itself, and they're going to begin taking it back to shore.
I think the biggest thing that we would both like to talk about is just to thank, you can see Steve and Kathy here and Elon. You know, this has been quite an odyssey the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 5 years since Bob and I started working on this program. And to be where we are now, the first crewed flight of Dragon, is just unbelievable. We've said it before, just a tremendous privilege to be part of this program, to be part of NASA, and to spend 2 months on the International Space Station with one of the greatest officers, crewmates, astronauts, Chris Cassidy. Just was a real pleasure for both of us. And I'm sure Bob will talk about the spacewalks, but just to see those two work out on the International Space Station, you're not going to see anything like that again. It just was just amazing to be part of that. And then, you know, the flight of Dragon on Falcon, and then the reentry today. It's a lot to process. As I said 5 hours ago, we were in a spaceship bobbing around, making prank satellite phone calls to whoever we could get a hold of, which was kind of fun, by the way. You can send him the bill for the sat phone. But anyway, we really appreciate all of you coming to say hi and welcoming us back. It's a little bit overwhelming to see everybody here, considering the things that have gone on the last few months since we've been off planet. But thank you again for coming to say hi, and hopefully we'll be able to share a lot of this mission with you in a few months, hopefully, if not sooner. But thank you again.
Well, first of all, thank you for everybody who came out today. I know with all the challenges, everybody's wearing a mask with the situation that we're in. It's not trivial to get this many people here to try to be close and celebrate what we've accomplished. I think for both Doug and I, the thing that we're most excited about having accomplished with this mission is, you know, it's written right on that sign where it says Launch America, and then, of course, Land America today. As we went through our years as astronauts here at the Johnson Space Center, we got to live through a big chunk of the shuttle era and a big chunk of the assembly of the space station. When the space shuttles retired, when Doug took his final flight to wrap that up, I think it was a sad day for us in the because there's something special about having that capability to launch and bring your own astronauts home. And we went through a lot of years without that capability. And I think we're both super proud to have been just a small part of the team that accomplished bringing those space flights back to the Florida coast and bringing that capability back to America. As Doug mentioned, we had the luxury of having just a super crew on board the International Space Station with Chris Cassidy, with Anatoly and Ivan. They just took wonderful care of us. I can't think of anything that we could have had more in place and ready for us when we arrived than what Chris set up for us. And so we're extremely thankful for him and his work to make things look easy for us. You know, we didn't have the full training template that was out there. We had an abbreviated flow and got to take advantage of an opportunity, if you will, to try to take care of Space Station as we accomplish this test mission. And so I think we're both really proud of that and happy that it didn't become a distraction. We were able to accomplish the test mission objectives and work through those, kind of get Dragon certified in some sense to be ready for our return home when the time came to do that. And so it all just worked out wonderfully. And so today, when we got the wake-up calls from our boys telling us a little bit about what they were looking forward to, which was us coming home, and in Theo's case, getting a new dog, it was a wonderful morning, and we very much appreciated it. And so, again, I think this kind of comes full circle. Took years to get here. We brought the capability back to America, and we came home safely to our families. And it took a lot of people a lot of time to make that happen. And so to Kathy, thank you for that. Of course, you had Steve as your right-hand man for the most recent history, at least. And we definitely really appreciate the hard work that you all had to go through to ensure that the contractors, in this case, the SpaceX team, really could understand NASA and what we needed to be able to have in place to have human spaceflight be safe in the way that we wanted to operate it. And I think for the SpaceX team, we couldn't have asked for a more wonderful team to work with. I think, we definitely are old dogs and like some of our old tricks because it's not always because lazy. Sometimes it's because we did it before and we know an easy solution, and we try to share that with folks. And that's really, as we go forward to further activities, whether it's in low Earth orbit, to the moon, or beyond, we need to figure out the best way to share what NASA knows with the contractor team and help them be as successful as possible. And I think maybe we weren't there 5 or 6 years ago, of course, but by the time we launched and certainly by the time we returned, I think there was a very tight-knit relationship between the SpaceX team and our NASA team, and we worked together to accomplish what we accomplished. So with that, I just want to thank you all for coming out today and celebrating this victory with Doug and I, and recognize our small part of what was accomplished. Thank you all.